All right. Hey, man. Boston Celtics win again to make it 6 wins in a row. 111 to 101 against the Toronto Raptors in a really fun game, Spoony.
Yeah, it was I would classify this under the talent advantage win. I
Sure.
don't think we played particularly amazing, especially defensively. I will say like the Raptors were getting away with a Miami Heat level of handsiness on the defensive end. Like they were just like grabbing and pulling Tatum every time he had the ball. And in the second half, Tatum did not look particularly interested in fighting through it. But for the most part, we were basically in control. Anytime they cut it with to like 5 or 6, we ballooned it right back up to 10, 12, 14. And it just stayed at that number for basically the whole game. So professional win. You go up to Toronto, you smack up. I think Scotty Barnes might be becoming my least favorite
Oh,
NBA
man.
player. I fucking hate that dude.
Dude, so much. And Scal on the broadcast was like, I watch the Raptors quite a lot, and he's never like this.
Yeah.
And it's like, you don't get to just, and this, I mean, this is part of being the Celtics, right? Is that guys will just decide to be, I know people are watching tonight, and so I'm going to do this big old, song and dance type thing. But, yeah, man. I mean, sure, there was a talent advantage. The Celtics were also missing a lot of their talent.
True.
No Kristaps Porzingis, no Al Horford, no Drew Holiday, no Luke Cornett. So you're listing 4 of your top 9, 2 starters, your 6th man in Horford, and obviously like when you're also missing your 3 big men. So
Yeah.
as someone who has been, clamoring for Tatum at the 5 lineups, this is by far the most Tatum at the 5 we've ever seen. And it worked out kind of well in that Yucca Purtle wasn't there. But part of my thesis on the Tatum at the 5 stuff was like offensively, then you're able to really exploit someone like that. Whereas like it was kind of, they didn't have a big man, we didn't have a big man. So both teams were just like switching everything and bashing into each other over and over again. And that's probably where the talent advantage comes in. You have just enough shot making, just enough ball handling, and just enough advantage at the superstar spots. But Tatum won the tip to start.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy. And offensive rebounds, 12 for the Celtics, 10 for the Raptors. Like if you're concerned about 2 things with Tatum at the 5, right? Like your rim protection, which I think bore out. I thought rim protection was a problem tonight.
Definitely.
And I thought rebounding was fine. I didn't think it was good or bad, but also they didn't have really the Yucca Purtle type to really bludgeon you on the boards either.
Yeah, I mean the rebounding was basically dead even. If you can have like a back-breaking offensive rebound in a game, Pritchard had it with like 2 minutes left when Tatum missed the pull-up 3, and it basically iced the game when he got that offensive rebound. But
That was unreal.
If you're gonna play defense with Tatum at the 5, you need to be insane at the point of attack and play really aggressively and don't let dribble penetration happen because your defense is going to completely fold without rim protection because you're going to have to bring hard help from the corner or with Tatum, who's not like Tatum's a very solid rim protector for like a 3 and a 4. He is a very bad one as a 5.
Correct.
And like we went to this zone for super long periods of time that just was not working at all. And we played it for like, it had to be like 15 possessions. I can't remember us playing zone more than that any game all season. And to me, it doesn't make sense. Like part of the Tatum at the 5 lineup is it's super switchable.
Yeah.
So you never let dribble penetration happen. And it's almost like we invited it. And I'm not really sure what Joe's thinking was other than like, fuck it, it's the Raptors. Let's see if this works.
Well, earlier they were switching everything, but the Raptors were slipping the screens, and the Celtics were getting cooked on it over and over again. And yeah, Z Gamer and me were going back and forth about Tatum at the 5. The Raptors blowing layups doesn't make that a good performance, Jake. I didn't think that the Tatum at the 5 kind of scheme concept was the problem. I thought that, as you said, that should mean that you limit dribble penetration, and that should limit your need for a rim protector. But that was not the case for a lot of the game tonight. I thought that guys were getting beaten off the dribble quite a lot, or as you said, going to the zone and just losing guys and miscommunicating, especially the first half. I thought the defense in the third quarter was really good. That was probably the best time. And then it was still fine in the fourth quarter, but the third quarter was really where they built the lead back up enough to a point where they kind of just needed to survive the fourth quarter. And so it was they're really clearly capable. And obviously it's not something that they've done very often, if ever before. And so I think it can work. Again, I'm not saying it's going to be like a staple of the roster. And also, when healthy, it's just never going to happen because Horford, Porzingis, and Luke Cornett are three of your best 9 players now, and the numbers are off the charts. And the reality is, the game is designed with the giant basket in the sky, or the small basket in the sky. As long as that's the way that basketball is played, then people that are 7 foot tall are going to have an inherent advantage at the sport. And so I don't think this is something they should do with this group. I called for it in the Pacers series last season. That's because Porzingis was out. Horford was having some trouble. It kind of worked in one game. But back to your talent advantage thing. There was a point in was it the third quarter, I think, right before Tatum went to the bench. Cater, Shireman, J.D. Davidson, who am I forgetting? It was one more that was outrageous, and a Torrey Craig. You're a guy. Davison, Cater, Shireman, Torrey Craig. Jason Tatum's hardest challenge yet, I think. That's got to be one of the worst lineups he's played with, I would say, in his career. That 2020 season probably would have had a few challenges, whether it was Romeo Langford and Tristan Thompson, Waters, and washed Jeff Teague. But that was pretty rough, and I can't say that it went very well. They were not really able to generate any offense because they were just like showing two at Tatum, and J.D. Davison was like, "What do I do?" And then the Raptors were still switching everything, and J.D. Davison, he didn't turn the ball over. RJ pointed that out. 0 turnovers for our guy, but they were missing some guys tonight.
If I could defend JD for a second,
let's go.
Like Jamal Shed is guarding him,
dude. Tough.
And Keita just did not get up to set him a screen. So you want to just give the ball to J.D. Davison and break that. I love Jamal Shed. I've been a Jamal Shed guy all season.
Where did he come from? Is he undrafted?
I think he's a second-round pick. He's out of Houston, man. Houston just produces scrappy, hard-nosed guards. Sasser from Michigan. There's a bunch of Houston guards. Yeah, Quentin Grimes is from Houston. Davion Mitchell. No, he went to Baylor. Shit. But there's just a ton of solid Houston guards in that same mold, and that's Jamal Shed. And you're giving the ball to J.D. Davidson, and Keita's not getting up high enough to give him a screen, and that's not really on J.D.
Brutal.
Yeah, so that whole lineup, they clearly just did not know how to play with each other, and it was a complete and utter mess. And Baylor Shireman had one nice little take that he made, but otherwise, I thought offensively, he was a disaster, man. He is a record scratch guy. He caught it in the corner one time in the first half, wide open, and he put it on the deck, dribbled into the teeth of the defense, spun around, and shot a fadeaway and missed it.
Yes.
Dude, you got to fire that 3 off when you catch the ball. But I did think Shireman's defense was not that bad. I actually thought he was held up defensively okay. JD, I thought his defense was not great. He got cooked a couple times, and it's what's the point? What's the point of a small guard? But it's not like he got beat for strength. He got beat for speed.
Yeah.
And it's dude, you are not going to have an NBA future. You at least got to do what Pritchard does and stay in front of people. And if they make the shot over you, they make the shot over you. So that lineup was insane.
Awesome.
Davison was almost only a -4, so it wasn't
in 4 minutes.
Yeah. So that's bad. That's pretty damn bad.
It doesn't get that much worse than that.
That's only a
minus 48 per 48. Yeah, that's not really what we're looking for. But yeah, we could. I feel it was kind of a treat. That's why I really enjoyed this game. And obviously, it's nice that they won the game, kind of wire to wire. I would say. And I enjoyed seeing those lineups. I didn't love, as much as it's funny to see the Tatum with a couple of G League, really 3 G Leaguers at the same time, and a buyout guy, when you put it that way, is so insane. But I enjoyed seeing Shireman was out there with the 4 other guys, and we saw a bit of Walsh, and I think we could spend a bunch of time on like the very limited minutes from all the bench guys, but like we should probably talk about the guys that really drove this win. And I don't know if you
Really
want to
quick.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Walshy needs to play.
Let him
He
play.
needs to play. He is not bad. He makes
What's
quick
going on?
decisions. He hustles, and he's solid defensively. Play him, Joe.
Let him play. I don't understand why he doesn't take all of the minutes that are coming from the bench. Shout out RJ. Shout out Connor West for the super chat. Nice of Toronto to let the main Celtics have a scrimmage tonight. Not pretty, but the young guys ate some minutes. Okay, if I'm gonna give a game ball out, I got to go to Pritchard.
Ooh.
I got to go to Pritchard. I just like defensively, he was out there when they're switching everything. He got mashed up on Scotty Barnes, 5 times? 6 times? He forced him into predominantly fadeaway jump shots, which he made a couple of, which of course that's going to happen. Forced him into a couple of misses, but it's like, if that's the shot that they're getting every time on a Pritchard post-up from Scotty Barnes, you can live with that. And honestly, play of the game was the offensive rebound that he got to ice the game. Dude, he's just a monster. He got it in between like 4 dudes. Yeah. It's so insane. Like, how many offensive rebounds did he have today? 2. 20 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. And like, he was only 4 for 13 from 3. His 3-point shot, it felt like he lost it there in the second half. It was kind of all over the place. But in a game where you just kind of needed to generate points and just fight for stuff, he's a dog. Straight up definition dog. And to dig it out was so impressive. And then at the end of the third quarter, they nailed that 2-for-1 where Pritchard, 35 seconds, pushed it, kicked it back out to Hauser, hit the 3, and then Pritchard hit the buzzer beater to close a quarter where the lead had got cut to 7. Last 40 seconds, they go on like a 5-0 run to close a quarter. It was chef's kiss, beautiful, love it.
Yeah, that almost felt like it ended the game. Obviously, it did not, but that was such a momentum swing at the end of the quarter, and like that was a big nuts 3 from Pritchard. He was incredible. Like watching Scotty Barnes be like, I'm going to post this little dude up, and then just hitting a brick wall and not moving him at all. Yeah, I mean, I know he made 1, maybe 2 jumpers over Pritchard, but he did so well on Barnes, and he does a really good job on Quickly too, who like isn't that good anymore, but is still like okay, I guess. I mean, that's
Quickly?
not exactly, not expert analysis, but like Quickly can be shifty and be tough to guard when he gets it going, and he just never did, and I thought Pritchard was part of that. But if I had to give the game ball, it'd be Derrick White, man. Like he iced this game in the fourth quarter. I looked it up on PBP, so if the game's within 10 in the fourth quarter and overtime this year, he's shooting 58% from 2 and 44.3% in 3. 10-point game in the fourth quarter. Derrick White basically turns into Steph Curry. It's ridiculous, man. He's so good. And he had awesome. He had one 2-man game with Tatum with like 7 minutes left where we were kind of letting go of the rope a little bit. I think they had cut it to 5. And it was like a 30-footer. He just pulled up, buried. I thought Derrick was partially to blame for some of the dribble penetration stuff, but like basically everyone but Pritchard was to blame. So I'm not going to hold that against him too much. And I thought he had some really nice playmaking moments in the first half too, but both of those guys were awesome.
Yeah. I can't believe I forgot about Derrick. I was too covered in ectoplasm from that fourth quarter, probably. Like, man, 22.
Blacked out.
Dude, 22, 3 boards, 5 assists, 3 steals. The two blocks, dude, like straight up at the rim, just swatting dudes. Like, a ridiculous game. Yes, was it perfect? And I mean, I thought Pritchard was also partly to blame for some of the dribble penetration as well. So I think that it was across the board. But man, the 2-man game stuff, and there was a play later in the game. Oh my God, look at this play. He got up there. The headband boys, Tatum and Derrick, man. It was beautiful. Like they went to the 2-man game late, and then they did it in a kick ball, but it was like reset. Like they were trying to keep either Walter or Quickly out of the action, and like they're fighting to switch, not switch, and they just kept going to it. And then eventually Tatum like got the seal and rolled, and Derrick found him, but then it was a kick ball. And I was like, this 2-man game, this action. The chemistry's gotten so good, and I was just thinking, man, like in 2 more years, this is just going to be so unstoppable. I mean, it already is one of the more unstoppable 2-man actions in the NBA. But yeah, I really enjoyed that combination. But yeah, Derrick, man, 6 for 11 from 3. I mean,
filthy, dude.
He's the guy. He's the guy every time. Every time in the fourth quarter you need someone, and he's done it to them a bunch of times as well. I mean, he's done it to everybody, I guess, if that's the stats in the fourth quarter. But do you remember? I think it was last year. Tatum didn't play. I remember Tatum had this big, like fluffy tiger print jumper on, and he was being guarded by Gary Trent, and he like fumbles the ball, turns, pulls, fires. Tatum gets up, points at him. It's just what he does, man.
Yeah, I think we went over that clip with his dad when we had his dad on the show. Yeah. Yeah, man, he's just an assassin. He's a sniper in the fourth quarter. And it's so funny that the dude who struggles with confidence is our most clutch player in the fourth quarter. It makes like no sense. But yeah, he was fantastic. 3 steals, 2 blocks is absolutely crazy. Just the 2 turnovers too. So, and I thought like Jaylen has been like metronome recently, where he's just like 20 to 25 points every game, decent efficiency, 1 or 2 plays where you're just like, what the hell was that? Yeah, for the love of God, Jaylen, make a fucking 3. It is killing me. And it's like, I didn't think tonight he got particularly good ones, but the last like 2 weeks, Jaylen has been getting like wide open catch and shoots, and he just cannot get them to go. Tonight he took some real bad ones, I thought, but like forcing it. But look, he's 0 for 5 from 3. He was 10 of 13 from 2, which is just ridiculous. Low variance offense that just kind of keeps us. It just makes it so like that lead is just so hard to whittle away when it's like, oh, you got a 3. We're struggling a little bit offensively. Here's Jaylen in the post to get us 2. And it's like, okay, now we're back on track. So I thought he was really good. Also, probably very to blame for some of the dribble penetration stuff. But nonetheless, again, that was everybody.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything on the injury stuff because he left the game for a bit, and then they also didn't close the game. It looked like he got kneed in the thigh. I would not expect to see him tomorrow. I wonder what happens tomorrow. Because Tatum played 40 minutes. Hauser played 40 minutes. But yeah, man, it's and then with the back-to-back, I'm guessing Tatum just plays and Derrick just plays, and that would be my guess. But big minutes in a very physical game, and you have to travel, and they got to try. I guess it's close by to Toronto, kind of, but. Yeah, I mean, we're kind of already going long here. We're doing late night with Greeny tonight, but is there anyone else you want to hit, and then we'll bounce?
I don't know. Torrey Craig, I guess. He's fine. You think he was that good?
No, he was terrible tonight.
Okay, all right. I was like, I couldn't tell if people were being sarcastic in the Discord or not.
All right, right. No. I mean, terrible is strong. I guess it's all back to expectations, right? Like, my expectations are very low. I'm disappointed he wasn't able to hit some of those threes because I think that's one thing that I think even you can admit he is capable of hitting wide open threes, and there was a period there where like the avalanche was on the table and no one could hit a 3. Yeah. And he was part of that problem. Like what did we end up tonight? I know Toronto couldn't shoot to save their life. Yeah, they were at 15%, so it's hard to be too upset about the shooting variance, but we missed some good looks like in that third quarter there where you could have broken it open. But yeah, Torrey Craig, probably closer to what people should expect, minus maybe like the 0 for 5 from 3 part, but you know, it was fine. He's not supposed to be starting.
Yeah, that's right. Especially like nominally at the 5.
Yeah.
This is what I said in the Discord. You need dudes who are just going to play hard as hell in a random February game against Toronto. Like you just need those dudes on the team to like continue to stack wins. He had like 2 nice offensive rebounds. He will make some threes. His defense terrifies me. But like your Grady Dick's like blowing by him. It's like, oh boy, this is not great. But he's going to play hard and he'll make some shots. And you could do a lot worse on the buyout market than a guy like that. So he's fine. He's like O'Shea Brissett level, just a little bit different player. So he's okay. Yeah.
Tatum, another 11 assist game. Up and down game for Tatum. Scoring efficiency, not what we're looking for, but he took so many bad shots. I don't even want to say bad shots because he kind of had no choice, I felt like at times. Like a lot of late shot clock. A lot of grenades, a lot of late shot clock stuff. So I didn't necessarily think that was all his fault, but I think partly he could have been a little more forceful earlier in the shot clock to avoid that actually happening. But 9 assists in the first half, 11 assists. He's the passing, the playmaking continues to be. That's the number I think I care about. Get him to 6 assists on the season, and we'll be happy.
We're cruising. Yeah, too many turnovers. He was not in like I'm gonna dominate this game mode. He was in like
really.
let's not get hurt mode, which is fine. Especially with the way Toronto was guarding him so physically. He just seemed to not really want to put in 100% effort. So that's okay. We got the win. Another 11 assists. We continue to move on. So we should probably wrap it up there,
Yep.
huh, Jake? All right.
Yep. All righty. We'll be back in about an hour or so with Greeny. Talk a bit about the rest of this game. Talk about Marcus Smart, maybe. I know Greeny's probably feeling emotional after seeing what he did for the Wizards last night. But Spoony, pleasure. And everybody, good to see you. Go Celtics.